I learn in this letter that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Messina.
He is very near by this. He was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have you lost in this action?
But few of any sort, and none of name.
Ah, a victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young Florentine called Claudio.
Much deserved on his part, and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing in the figure of a lamb the feats of a lion. He hath indeed better to expectation than you must expect me to tell you how.
He hath an uncle here in Messina that will be very much glad of it.
I pray you, is Signor Mountanto returned from the wars, or no?
I know none of that name, lady. There was none such in the army of any sort.
What is he that you ask for, niece?
My cousin means Signor Benedict of Padua.
Oh, he's returned, as pleasant as ever he was.
He set up his bills here in Messina and challenged Cupid at the flight. And my uncle's fool, reading the challenge, subscribed for Cupid and challenged him at the bird bolt. I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many hath he killed? For indeed I promise to eat all his killing.
Faith, niece, you tax Signor Benedict too much, but he'll be meet with you, I doubt it not.
He hath done good service, and a good soldier too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady. But what is he to a lord?
Lord to a lord, man to a man, stuffed with all honourable virtues.
Yes, so indeed, he is no less than a stuffed man. But for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
You must not, sir, mistake my niece, for there is a kind of merry word betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went haltering off, and so now is the whole man governed by 1. That if he have wit enough about him to keep himself warm, let him bear it for a difference between himself and his horse. For 'tis all the wealth he hath left to be known a reasonable creature. I pray you, who's his companion now? He has every month a new sworn brother.
Is it possible?
Very easily possible. He wears his faith, but as the fashion of his hat, it ever changes with the next block.
I see, lady. The gentleman is not in your books.
No. And he were, I would burn my study. But I pray you, is there no young squarer now that will make a voyage with him to the devil?
He is most in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh, Lord, he will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God, help the noble Claudio. If he hath caught the Benedict, it will cost him £1,000 ere it be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do, good friend.
You will never run mad, niece.
No, not till a hot January.
Don Pedro is approached.
Just got back today. Them wild-eyed boys that had been away haven't changed, had much to say. But man, I still think them cats are crazy. They were asking if you were around, how you was, where you could be found. I told them you were living downtown, driving all the old men crazy. The boys are back in town, boys are back in town. I said, the boys are back in town. 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 You know that chick that used to dance a lot? Every night she'd be on the floor shaking what she'd got. Man, when I tell you she was cool, she was red hot. I mean, she was steaming. And that time over at Johnny's place, well, this chick got up and she slapped Johnny's face. Man, we just fell about the place. If that chick don't wanna know, forget her. said, the boys are back in town. 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 Spread the word around. Guess who's back in town? You spread the word around. Friday night they'll be dressed to kill down at Dino's Bar and Grill. The drink will flow and blood will spill. And if the boys wanna fight, you better let them. That jukebox in the corner blasting out my favorite song. The nights are getting warmer, it won't be long. Won't be long till summer comes. Now that the boys are here again. The boys are back in town. Boys are back in town. The 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 boys are back in town. Spread the word around. The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. The boys are back. The boys are back.
Good Signor Leonato, you have come to meet your trouble? The fashion of this world is to avoid cost, and do you encounter it?
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace. For trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides, and happiness takes his leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter.
Her mother hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked her?
Truly the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honorable father.
If Signor Leonato be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders for all Messina as like him as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
What, my dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die when she hath such meat food to feed it as Signor Benedict? No, courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat, for it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted, and I would I could find it in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
A dear happiness to women! They would otherwise have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God in my cold blood I'm of your humor for that. I would rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall scape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse, and 'twere such a face as yours were.
Well, you are a rare parrot teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse had the speed of your tongue, and so good a continuer. But keep your faith. In God's name I have done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
That is the sum of all, Leonato. Signor Benedict, Signor Claudio, my dear friend Leonato hath invited you all. I tell him we shall stay at least a month, and he heartily prays some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear he is no hypocrite, but prays from his heart.
If you swear, my lord, you shall not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lord, for, being reconciled to the prince, your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I'm not of many words, but I thank you.
Please let your grace lead on.
Your hand, Leonato, we will go together.
Benedict, didst thou note the daughter of Signor Leonato?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me as an honest man should for my simple, true judgment? Or would you have me speak after my custom as being a professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray thee, speak in sober judgment.
Why, faith, Methinks she's too low for a high praise, too brown for fair praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this commendation I can afford her, that were she other than as she is, she were unhandsome, and being no other than as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I am in sport. I pray thee, tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her that you inquire after her?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Yea, and a case to put it into.
In mine eye, she's the sweetest lady that I ever looked on.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. There's her cousin, and she were not possessed with a fury, exceeds her as much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband. Have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary, if Hero would be my wife.
Is it come to this? Hath the world not one man but he will wear his cap with suspicion? Shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again? Look, Don Pedro is returned to seek you.
What secret hath held you here that you followed not to Leonardo's?
I would your grace constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
You hear that, Count Claudio? I could be secret as a dumb man, I would have you think so. But on my allegiance, mark you this, on my allegiance. He's in love. With who? Now that is your grace's part. Mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonardo's short daughter.
If this were so were it uttered.
Like the old tale, my lord. It is not so, nor 'twas not so, but God forbid it should be so.
If my passion change not shortly, God forbid it should be otherwise.
Amen, if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
You speak this to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth, I speak my thought.
Then in faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my 2 faiths and troths, my lord, I spoke mine.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I love her, I feel.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, nor know how she should be worthy, is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
And never could maintain his part, but in the force of his will.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks. But that I should have a rich heat winded in my forehead, or hang my bugle in an invisible baldric, all women shall pardon me. I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee ere I die look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love.
Well, as time shall try. In time the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedick bear it, pluck off the bull's horns, and set them in my forehead, and let me be vilely painted under such letters as they write, Here is good horse for hire. Let them signify under my sign, Here you may see Benedick, the married man.
Well, in the meantime, good Signor Benedick, repair to Leonardo's. Commend me to him, and tell him I shall not fail him for supper, for indeed he hath made great preparation.
I've almost matter enough in me for such an embassage, and so I commit you. Examine your conscience, and so I leave you.
My liege, your highness now may do be good?
My love is thine to teach. Teach it but how? And thou shalt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson that may do thee good.
Hath Leonato any son, my lord?
No child but Hero. She's his only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord. When you went onward on this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye, that liked but had a rougher task in hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I am returned, and that war thoughts have left their places vacant in their rooms, come thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young Hero is, saying I liked her ere I went to wars.
Thou wilt be a lover presently, and tire the hero with a book of words. If thou dost love fair Hero, cherish it, and I will break with her and with her father, and thou shalt have her. Was it not to this end that thou beganst to twist so fine a story?
How sweetly you do minister to love, than to know love's grief by his complexion. But, lest my liking might too sudden seem, I would have salved it with a longer treaty.
What need the bridge much broader than the flood? The fairest grant is the necessity. Look what will serve as fit. 'Tis once thou lovest, and I will fit thee with a remedy. I know we shall have revelling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise, and tell fair hero I am Claudio. And in her bosom I'll unclasp my heart, and take her hearing prisoner with the force and strong encounter of my amorous tale. Then after, to her folly will I break, and the conclusion is she shall be thine. In practice let us put it presently.
How now, brother? Where is Balthazar? Hath he provided this music?
He's very busy about it, but brother, I can tell you strange news you yet dreamt not of.
Are they good?
Prince and Count Claudio were thus much overheard by a man of mine. The prince discovered to Count Claudio that he loved my niece, your daughter, and meant to acknowledge it this night in a dance. And if he met her accordant, he meant to take the present time by the top and instantly break with you of it.
Hath the fellow any wit that told you this?
A good, sharp fellow. I will send for him and question him yourself.
No. We will hold it as a dream till it appear itself. But I will acquaint my daughter withal, that she may be the better prepared for an answer, if peradventure this be true. Go you and tell her of it. Oh, Balthazar, I cry you mercy. Go with me, good friend, and I will use your skill. Good cousin, have a care this busy time.
What the good you, my lord? Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There is no measure in the occasion that breeds, therefore the sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
And when I've heard it, what blessing brings it?
If not a present remedy, at least a patient sufferance.
I wonder that thou, being as thou say'st thou art, born under Saturn, goest about to apply a moral medicine to a mortifying mischief. I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause, and smile at no man's jests. Eat when I have stomach, and wait for no man in his leisure. Sleep when I am drowsy, and tend on no man's business. Laugh when I am merry, and claw no man in his humour.
Yea, but you must not make a full show of this till you do it without controlment. You have, as of late, stood out against your brother, and he hath taken you newly into his grace, where it is impossible you should take true root but by the fair weather that you make yourself. It is needful that you frame the season for your own harvest.
I had rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace, and it better fits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. In this, though I cannot be said to be a flattering, honest man, it must not be denied, but I am a plain-dealing villain. I am trusted with a muzzle and enfranchised with a clog, thus have decreed not to sing in my cage. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it only. Who comes here? What news, Baraccio?
I came yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonato, and I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve for any model to build mischief on? What is he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Mary, it is your brother's right hand.
Who? The most exquisite Claudio?
Even he?
And who and who? Which way looks he?
Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonato.
A very forward-marched chick. How came you to this?
Came me the prince, hand in hand in sad conference. I heard it agreed upon that the prince shall woo Hero for himself, and having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come, let us thither. This may prove food to my displeasure. That young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross him in any way, I bless myself in every way. You're both sure and willing to assist me?
To the death, my lord.
Let us to the great supper. Their cheer is the greater that I am subdued. Would the cook were o' my mind. Shall we go prove what's to be done?
We'll wait upon your lordship.
I'm a bad guy.
Was not Count John here at supper?
I saw him not.
How tartly that gentleman looks. I never can see him, but I am heartburned an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
For an excellent man that were made in the midway between him and Benedick. One is too like an image, and says nothing, and the other too like my lady's eldest son, evermore tattling.
Then half Signor Benedick's tongue in Count John's mouth, and half Count John's melancholy in Signor Benedick's face.
With a good leg and a good foot, uncle, and money enough in his purse, such a man would win any woman in the world, if we could get her goodwill.
By my troth, niece, thou wilt never get thee a husband if thou be so shrewd of thy tongue.
In faith, she's too cursed.
Lord, I cannot endure a husband with a beard on his face. I'd rather lie in the woolen.
You may light on a husband that hath no beard.
What should I do with him? Dress him up in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman? He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man. And he that is more than a youth is not for me, and he that is less than a man, I am not for him. Therefore I will even take 6 pence in earnest of the bear ward, and lead his apes into hell.
Well then, go you into hell?
No, but to the gate, and there will the devil meet me like an old cuckold with horns on his head, and say, Get you to heaven, Beatrice, get you to heaven. Here is no place for you maids. So deliver I up my apes and away to St. Peter for the heavens. He shows me where the bachelors sit, and there live we as merry as the day is long.
Well, niece, I trust you will be ruled by your father.
Yes, faith, it is my cousin's duty to make curtsy and say, Father, as it please you. And yet for this, let him be a handsome fellow, or else make another curtsy and say, Father, as it please me.
Well, niece, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband.
Not till God make men of some other metal than earth. Would it not grieve a woman to be overmastered by a piece of valiant dust? To make an account of her life to a clod of wayward marl? No, uncle, I'll none. Adam's sons are my brethren, and truly I hold it a sin to match in my kindred.
Daughter, remember what I told you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer.
If you be not wooed in good time, the fault is in the music. If the prince be too important, say there is measure in everything, and so dance out the answer.
Cousin, you apprehend passing shrewdly.
I have a good eye, uncle. I can see a church by daylight.
The revelers are entering, brother. Make good room.
Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
So you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing. I am yours for the walk, and especially when I walk away.
With me in your company?
I may say so when I please.
And when please you to say so?
When I like your favor.
Speak low if you speak love.
Well, I would you did like me.
So would not I for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one?
I say my prayers aloud.
I love you the better. The hearers may cry amen.
God match me with a good dancer.
Well, amen.
And God keep him out of my sight when the dance is done. Answer, clerk.
No more words. The clerk has answered.
I know you well enough. You are Senor Antonio. At a word, I am not.
I know you by the waggling of your head.
Tell you true, I counterfeit him.
You could never do him so ill well unless you were the very man. Here's his dry hand up and down. You are he, you are he.
At a word, I am not.
Come, come. Do you think I do not know you by your excellent wit? Can virtue hide itself? Go to, Mum, you are he. Graces will appear and there's an end.
Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you shall pardon me.
Nor will you not tell me who you are?
Not now.
That I was disdainful, and that I had my good wit out of the 100 merry tales. Well, this was Signor Benedict who said so.
What's he?
I'm sure you know him well enough.
Not I, believe me.
Did he never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he is the prince's jester, a very dull fool. Only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but libertines delight in him, and accommodation is not in his wit, but in his villainy. For both pleases men and angers them, and then they laugh at him and beat him. I'm sure he is in the fleet. I would he had boarded me.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Do. We must follow the leaders.
In every good thing?
Nay, if they lead to any ill, I will leave them at the next turning.
Sure, my brother's amorous on Hero, and hath withdrawn her father to break with him about it. The ladies follow her, but one visor remains.
And that is Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Are you not Signor Benedict?
You know me well. I am he.
You are very near my brother in his love. He's enamored on Hero. I pray you, dissuade him from her. She's no equal for his birth. You'll do the part of an honest man in it.
How know you he loves her?
I heard him swear his affection.
So did I too.
And he swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
Thus answer I in the name of Benedict, but hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so, the prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things, save in the office and affairs of love. Therefore all hearts in love use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself, and trust no agent, for beauty is a witch against whose charms faith melteth into blood. This is an accident of hourly proof, which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, Hero.
Count Claudio.
Yea, the same.
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow tree, about your own business, County. What fashion will you wear the garland of? You must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your hero.
I wish him joy of her.
Well, that's spoken like an honest drover, but did you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you leave me.
Oh, now you strike like the blind man. 'Twas the boy that stole your meat, and you'll beat the post.
If it will not be, I'll leave you.
Alas, poor hurt fowl, now will he creep into sedges. But that my lady Beatrice should know me, and not know me. The prince's fool. Ha! It may be that I go under that title because I am merry. Yea, but so I am apt to do myself harm. I am not so reputed. It is the base, though bitter disposition of Beatrice that puts the world into her person, and so gives me out. Well, I'll be revenged as I may.
Now, Signor, where's the Count? Have you seen him?
Troth, my lord, I played the part of Lady Fame. I found him here as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace had got the goodwill of this young lady, and I offered him my company to the next willow tree, either to make a garland, as being forsaken, or to bind him up a rod, as being worthy to be whipped.
To be whipped? What's his fault?
The flat transgression of a schoolboy, who, being overjoyed at finding a bird's nest, shows it his companion and he steals it.
Wilt thou make a trusted transgression? The transgression is in the stealer.
Yet it had not been amiss, the rod had been made, and the garland too, for the garland he might have worn himself, and the rod he might have bestowed upon you, who, as I take it, have stolen his bird's nest.
I will but teach them to sing and restore them to the owner.
If their singing answer your saying, by my faith, sir, you say honestly.
The Lady Beatrice hath a quarrel to you. The gentleman who danced with her tonight told her she was much wronged by you.
Oh, she misused me past the endurance of a block. An oak with but one green leaf would have answered her. My very visor began to assume life and scold with her. She told me, not thinking I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester, that I was duller than a grape thaw, huddling jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance that I stood like a man at a mark with a whole army shooting at me. She speaks poniards, and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there were no living near her. She would infect to the North Star. I would to God some scholar would conjure her, for certainly, while she is here, a man may live as quiet in hell as in a sanctuary, and people sin upon purpose because they would go thither. So indeed all disquiet, horror, and perturbation follows her.
Look, here she comes.
Will your grace command me any service to the world's end? I will go now on the slightest errand to the antipodes that you can devise to send me on. I will fetch you a toothpicker from the furthest inch of Asia, bring you the length of Prester John's foot, fetch you a hair off the great Cham's beard, do you any embassage to the pygmies rather than hold 3 words conference with this harpy? You have no employment for me.
None, but to desire your good company.
Oh God, that is a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedick.
Indeed, my lord. He lent it me a while, and I gave him use for it. A double heart for a single one. Marry! Once before he won it of me with false dice. Therefore your grace may well say I have lost it.
You have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
So I would not he should do me, my lord, lest I prove the mother of fools. I have brought you Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
Why, how now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then, sick?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad, nor sick, nor merry, nor well, but civil Count, civil as an orange, and something of that jealous complexion.
Faith, lady, I think your blazon to be true, though if I'll be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair hero is won. I have broke with her father, and his goodwill obtained. Name the day of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and all grace say amen to it.
Speak, Count. 'Tis your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much. Lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give away myself for you, and dote upon the exchange.
Speak, cousin, or if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss, and let not him speak neither.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Yea, I thank it, poor fool keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he's in her heart.
And so she doth, cousin.
Good Lord for alliance! Thus goes everyone to the world but I, and I am sunburnt. I may sit in a corner and cry, hey ho for a husband.
My lady, I will get you one.
I'd rather have one of your father's getting. Hath your grace ne'er a brother like you? Your father got excellent husbands, if a maid could come by one.
Will you have me, lady?
No, not unless I may have another for working days. Your grace is far too costly to wear every day. But I beseech your grace's pardon. I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me, and to be merry best becomes you, for, out of question, you were born in a merry hour.
No, sure, my lord, my mother cried. But then a star danced, and under that was I born. Cousins, God give you joy.
Niece, will you look to those things I told you of?
I cry you mercy, uncle. By your grace's pardon.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
There is little of the melancholy element in her, my lord. She is never sad but when she sleeps, and not ever sad then. For I have heard my daughter say she hath often dreamt of unhappiness and wakes herself with laughing.
She cannot endure to hear tell of a husband.
Oh, by no means. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedick.
Oh, Lord, my lord, if they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
County Claudio, when mean you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on crutches till love have all its rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence a just sennight, and a time too brief to have all things answer my mind.
You shake the head at so long a breathing. But I warrant thee, Claudio, the time shall not go dully by us. For I will, in the interim, undertake one of Hercules' labours, which is to bring the Lady Beatrice and Signor Benedick into a mountain of affection, the one with the other. I would fain have it a match, and I doubt not but to fashion it, if you three will but minister such assistance as I shall give you direction.
My lord, I am for you, though it cost me 10 nights' watchings.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero.
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedick is not the unhopefullest husband that I know. Thus far can I praise him. He is of a noble strain, of approved valor and confirmed honesty. I will teach you how to humor your cousin that she may fall in love with him. And I, with your two helps, shall so practice on Benedick that in despite of his quick wit and his queasy stomach, he shall fall for Lady Beatrice. If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer. His glory shall be ours, for we are the only love gods. Come in with me, and I will tell you my drift.
It is so. The Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonardo.
Yea, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment will be medicinable to me. I am sick in displeasure to him, and whatsoever comes athwart his affection ranges evenly with mine. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not so honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Show me briefly how.
I think I told your lordship a year since how much I am in the favour of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to Hero.
I remember.
Well, I can at any unseasonable instant of the night appoint her to look out at her lady's chamber's window.
What life is in that to be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you find the prince your brother, tell him that he had wronged his honour in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation do you mightily hold up to a contaminated stale such a one as Hero.
What proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Hero and kill Leonardo? Look you for any other issue?
Only to despite them I will endeavour anything.
Go then, find me a meat hour to draw Don Pedro and Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know that Hero loves me. Intend a kind of zeal, as in love of your brother's honour, who hath made this match, and his friend's reputation, who is thus likely to be cozened with the semblance of a maid, that you have discovered thus. They will scarcely believe this without trial. Offer them instances which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at the chamber window, hear me call Margaret Hero, hear Margaret term me Claudio, and bring them to see this the very night before the intended marriage. For in the meantime, I will so fashion the matter that Hero shall be absent. And there shall appear such seeming truth of Hero's disloyalty, and jealousy shall be called assurance, and all the preparation overthrown.
Grow this to what adverse issue it can, and I will put it in practice. Be cunning in the working this, and thy fee is 1,000 ducats.
Be constant in your accusation, and my cunning shall not shame me.
I will presently go learn their day of marriage.
Boys, in my chamber window there lies a book. Bring it hither to me in the orchard.
We are already here, sir.
I know that, and I would have thee hence in here again. I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. I have known when there was no music with him, but the drum and the fife, and now he had rather hear the tabor and the pipe. I've known when he would walk 10 mile afoot to see a good armor, and now will he lie 10 nights awake, carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain, and to the purpose, like an honest man, and a soldier, and now is he turned orthography. His words are a very fantastical banquet, just so many strange dishes. May I be so converted and see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. I will not be sworn, but love may transform me to an oyster. But till he has made me an oyster, he shall never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich she shall be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Mild, or come not near me. Noble, or not I for an angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair. Her hair shall be of what color it please God. The prince and Monsieur Love, I will hide me in the arbor.
Come, shall we hear this music?
Yea, my good lord, how still the evening is, as hushed on purpose to grace harmony.
See you where Benedick hath hid himself?
Oh, very well, my lord.
Come, Balthazar, we'll hear that song again.
Oh, good my lord. Tax not so bad a voice to slander music any more than once.
It is the witness still of excellency to put a strange face on one's own perfection. I pray thee sing and woo no more.
Because you talk of wooing, I will sing. Since many a wooer doth commence his suit to her he thinks not worthy. Yet he woos, yet will he swear he loves.
Nay, I pray thee come, or if thou wilt hold longer argument, do it in notes.
Note this before my notes. There's not a note of mine that's worth the noting.
Why, these are very crotchets that he speaks. Note notes for sooth and nothing.
Now, divine air, now is his soul ravished. Is it not strange that sheep's guts should hail the souls from men's bodies?
No more, baby, say no more. A jump so dull and heavy. The fraud of man was ever so. Some of us was ready. But sign up so and let them go. And be like them burn. Convert the sounds of war into nani nani.
By my troth, a good song.
And a no singer, my lord.
No, Faith. Thou singest well enough for a shift.
If he'd been a dog that had howled thus, they would have hanged him. Ugh.
Yea, Mary. Dost thou hear, Balthazar? I pray thee get us some excellent music, for tomorrow night we would have it at the Lady Hero's chamber window.
The best I can, my lord.
Do so. Farewell. Come hither, Leonardo. What was it you told me of? That your niece Beatrice was in love with Signor Benedick?
Oh, ay. Stalk on, stalk on. The fowl sits. I did never think that lady would have loved any man.
No, nor I neither. But most wonderful that she should so dote on Signor Benedick, whom she hath in all outward behavior seemed ever to abhor.
Is it possible? Sits the wind in this corner?
By my troth, my lord, I cannot tell what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection, it is past the infinite of thought.
Maybe she doth but counterfeit.
Faith, like enough.
Oh God, counterfeit? There was never a counterfeit of passion came so near the life of passion as she discovers it.
Why, what effects of passion shows she?
Bait the hook well, this fish will bite.
What effects, my lord? She will sit... You heard my daughter tell you how.
She did indeed.
How, I pray you? You amaze me! I would have thought her spirit invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it had, my lord, especially against Benedick.
I should think this is a gull, but that the white-bearded fellow speaks it. Knavery cannot sure hide himself in such reverence.
He has ta'en the infection. Hold it up.
And hath she made her affection known to Benedick?
No, and she swears she never will. That's her torment.
'Tis true indeed, so your daughter says. Shall I, says she, have so often countered him with scorn, write to him that I love him?
Oh, she tore the letter into 1,000 halfpence, railed at herself that she should be so immodest to write to one that she knew would flout her.
Then down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears her hair, prays, curses. Oh God, sweet Benedict, oh God, give me patience.
Oh my stars.
She doth indeed. My daughter says so. And the ecstasy hath so much overborne her that my daughter is sometime afeard she will do a desperate outrage to herself. It is very true.
It were good that Benedick knew of it by some other, if she will not discover it.
To what end? He would make but a sport of it and torment the poor lady worse.
And he should. It were an alms to hang him, for she's an excellent sweet lady, and out of all suspicion she is virtuous.
And she is exceeding wise.
In everything but in loving Benedick. I would she had bestowed this dotage on me. I would have doffed all other respects, and made her half my own. I pray thee tell Benedick, and hear what he will say.
Hero thinks surely she will die, for she says she will die if he loves her not. And she will die ere she makes her love known, and she will die if he woos her, rather than she will bate one breath of her accustomed crossness.
She doth well. If she should make her love tender to Benedick, 'tis very possible he'll scorn it, for the man, as you know all, hath a contemptible spirit.
He is a very proper man.
He hath indeed a good outward happiness.
Before God, and in my mind, very wise.
He doth indeed show some sparks that are like wit.
And I take him to be valiant.
Well, I am sorry for your niece. Shall we go seek Benedick and tell him of her love?
Never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with a good counsel.
Nay, that's impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
Well, we will hear the further of it by your daughter. Let it cool a while. I love Benedick well, and I could wish he would modestly examine himself to see how much he is unworthy so good a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If you do not dote on her upon this, I will never trust my expectation.
Let the same net be spread for her, and that must your daughter and her gentlewoman carry. Let us send her to call him in to dinner.
This can be no trick. The Godwins are sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. They seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have their full bent. Love me? Why, it must be requited. I hear how I am censured. They say I will bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from her. They say, too, she will rather die than give any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that can hear their detractions and put them to mending. You say the lady is fair. 'Tis the truth, I can bear them witness. And virtuous. 'Tis so. I cannot reprove it. And wise, but for loving me. By my troth, it is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument of her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her. I may chance have some odd quirks, remnants of wit broken on me because I have railed so long against marriage. But doth not the appetite alter? A man loves the meat in his youth which he cannot endure with his age. Shall these quips and sentences and paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humor? No, the world must be peopled. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did never think I should live till I were married. Here comes Beatrice. By this day, she's a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner.
Fair Beatrice, I thank you for your pains.
I took no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure, then, in the message.
Yea, just so much as you may take upon a knife's point and choke a doll withal. You have no stomach, senor? Fare you well.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I took no more pains for those thanks than you took pains to thank me. That's as much as to say any pains I take for you is as easy as thanks. If I do not take pity on her, I am a villain. I will go get her picture.
Good Margaret, run thee to the parlor. There shalt thou find my cousin Beatrice proposing with the Prince and Claudio. Whisper her ear, tell her I and Ursula walk in the orchard, and our whole discourse is all of her. Say that thou overheardst us, and bid her steal into the bleached bower.
Where honeysuckled ripened by the sun forbid the sun to enter, like favorites made proud that princes that advance their pride against those powers that bred it. There she will hide to listen to our propose.
This is thy office. Now bear thee well in it, and leave us alone.
I'll make her come, I warrant you presently.
Now, Ursula, when Beatrice doth come, our talk must be only of Benedick. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. My talk to thee must be how Benedick is sick in love with Beatrice. Of this matter is crafty Cupid's arrow made that only wounds by hearsay. Now begin, for look where Beatrice like a lapwing runs close by the ground to hear our conference.
Pleasantest angling is to see the fish, cut with the golden oar the silver stream, and greedily devour the treacherous bait. So angle we for Beatrice, who, even now, is couched in the woodbine coverture. Fear you not my part of the dialogue.
Then we go near her, that her ear lose nothing of the false sweet bait that we lay for it. No, truly, Ursula, she is too disdainful. I know her spirits are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
Are you sure that Benedick loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince and my new said lord.
And did they bid you tell her of it, madam?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they loved Benedick, to wish him wrestle with affection, and never to let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve at full as fortunate a bed as ever Beatrice shall couch upon?
Oh, God of love! I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man, but nature never framed woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on, and her wit values itself so highly that to her all matter else seems weak. She cannot love, nor take no shape nor project of affection. She is so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so. And therefore certainly it were not good she knew his love, lest she'll make sport at it.
Why, you speak truth. I never yet saw a man. How wise, how noble, young, how rarely featured. But she would spell him backward. If fair face, she would swear the gentleman should be her sister. If speaking, why a vein blown with all winds? If silence, why a block moved with none? So turns she every man the wrong side out, and never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchaseth.
Sure, such carping is not commendable.
No, not to be so odd and from all fashions as Beatrice is cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, she would mock me into air. Oh, she would laugh me out myself, press me to death with wit. Therefore, let Benedict, like covered fire, consume away in sighs, waste inwardly.
Yet tell her of it. Hear what she will say.
No, rather, I will go to Benedict and fight and counsel him to fight against his passion. And truly I'll devise some honest slanders to stain my cousin with. One doth not know how much an ill word may empoison liking.
Oh, do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedict.
He is the only man of Italy. Always excepted my dear Claudio.
I pray you be not angry with me, madam, speaking my fancy. Signor Benedict, for shape, for bearing, argument, and valor, goes forthmost in report through Italy.
Indeed, he hath an excellent good name.
His excellence did earn it ere he had it. When are you married, madam?
Why, every day. Tomorrow. Come, go in, I'll show thee some attires, and have thy counsel which is best to furnish me tomorrow.
She's limed, I warrant you. We've caught her, madam.
If it proves so, then loving goes by haps. Some Cupid kills with arrows, some with traps.
What fires in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt farewell, and maiden pride adieu. No glory lives behind the backs of such. And Benedict, love on. I will requite thee to tame my wild heart to thy loving hands. For if thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. But others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reportingly.
I do but wait till your marriage be consummate, and then go I toward Aragon.
I'll bring you thither, my lord, if you'll vouchsafe me.
Nay, that would be as great a soil in the gloss of your new marriage as to show a child his new coat and forbid him to wear it. I will only be bold with Benedick for his company, for from the crown of his head to the sole of his foot he is all mirth. His heart is a bell and his tongue is the clapper, for what his heart thinks his tongue speaks.
Gallants, I am not as I have been.
So say I, methinks you are sadder.
I hope he be in love.
Hang him, truant, there's no true drop of blood in his body to be truly touched with love. If he be sad, he wants money.
I have the toothache.
Draw it.
Hang it!
You must hang it first and draw it afterwards.
What, sigh for the toothache?
Well, everyone can master a grief, but he that has it.
Yet say I, he is in love, and I know who loves him.
That would I know too. I warrant one that knows him not.
Yes, and in his ill conditions, and despite of all, dies for him.
Yet is this no charm for the toothache. Old senor, walk aside with me. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words to speak to you that these hobby horses must not hear.
By my troth, to speak with him about Beatrice.
'Tis even so. Hero and Ursula have by this played their parts with Beatrice. Then the two bears will not bite one another when they meet.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Good e'en, brother.
If your leisure served, I would speak with you.
In private?
If it please you, yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I speak of concerns him.
What's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow.
You know he does.
I know not that when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
You may think I love you not. Let that appear hereafter, and aim better at me by that I now will manifest. For my brother, I think he holds you well, and in dearness of heart hath hope to effect your ensuing marriage, surely suit ill spent and labor ill bestowed.
Why, what's the matter?
I came hither to tell you, and circumstances shortened, for she has too long been a talking of. The lady is disloyal.
Who? Hero?
Even she, Leonato's hero, your hero, every man's hero.
Disloyal?
The word is too good to paint out her wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think of you a worse title, and I will fit her to it. Wonder not till further warrant. Go but with me tonight, and you shall see her chamber window entered, even the night before her wedding day. If you love her, then tomorrow wed her, but it would better fit your honor to change your mind.
May this be so?
I will not think it.
If you dare not, trust, you see, confess not that you know. If you follow me, I will show you enough, and when you have seen more and heard more, proceed accordingly.
If I see anything tonight why I should not marry her, tomorrow in the congregation where I should wed, there I will shame her.
And as I wooed for thee to obtain her, I will join with thee to disgrace her.
I will disparage her no farther till you are my witnesses. Bear it coldly but till midnight, and let the issue show itself.
O day untowardly turned.
O mischief strangely thwarting.
O plague right well prevented. So you will say when you have seen the sequel.
I've been here before, but always hit the floor.
Are you good men and true?
Yea, or else it were a pity they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, that would be a punishment too good for them, if they should have any allegiance in them, being members of the Prince's watch.
Well, give them their charge, neighbor Dogberry.
First, who think you the most desertless man to be constable?
Hugh Oatcake, sir, or George Seacle, for they can write and read.
Come hither, neighbor Seacle. God hath blessed you with a good name. To be a well-favored man is a gift of fortune, but to write and read comes by nature.
Both of which, Master Constable.
You have? I knew it would be your answer. Well, for your favor, sir, give God thanks and make no boast of it. And as for your writing and reading, let that appear when there be no need of such vanity. You are thought here to be the most senseless and fit man for the constable of the watch. Therefore bear you the lantern. This is your charge. You shall comprehend all vagrom men. You are to bid any man stand in the Prince's name.
How if will not stand?
Why then, make no note of him, and let him go, and presently call the rest of the watch together, and thank God you are rid of a knave.
If he will not stand when he is bidden, he is none of the Prince's subjects.
True, and you are to meddle with none but the Prince's subjects. You shall also make no noise in the streets, for the watch to babble and to talk is most tolerable and not to be endured.
We will rather sleep than talk. We know what belongs to a watch.
You speak like a most ancient and quiet watchman, for I do not see how sleeping should offend. Only have a care that your bills be not stolen. Well, you are to call in all the alehouses and bid those that are drunk, get them to bed.
How if they will not?
Why then, let them alone till they are sober, and if they make you not then the better answer, you may say they are not the men you took them for.
Well, sir.
If you meet a thief, you may suspect him, by virtue of your office, to be no true man. And for such kinds of men, why, the less you meddle or make with them, the more is for your honesty.
If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Truly, by virtue of your office, you may. But I think they that touch pitch will be defiled. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself for what he is and steal out of your company.
You have always been called a merciful man, partner.
I would not hang a dog by my will, much less a man who hath any honesty in him.
If you hear a child cry in the night, you must call to the nurse and bid her still it.
How if the nurse be asleep and will not hear us?
Why then, leave and let the child wake her with crying, for the ewe that will not hear the lamb when it baas will never hear the calf when it bleats.
'Tis very true.
Well, this is the end of your charge. You, constable, are to present the prince's own person. If you meet a prince in the night, you may stay him.
Nay, by our lady, I think I cannot.
5 shillings to 1 on't with any man that knows the statutes. He may stay him, marry not without the prince be willing. For the watch ought to offend no man, and to stay a man against his will is an offence indeed.
By our lady, I think it be so.
Ha! Well, good night, and keep your fellows' counsels and your own, and good night. Come, neighbor.
Well, masters, we hear our charge. Let us sit here upon the bench till 2, and then all to bed.
One word more, honest neighbors. I pray you watch about Signor Leonato's door, for with the wedding being there tomorrow, there is a great coil tonight. Adieu, be vigilant, I beseech you. Come, neighbor.
What? Conrad!
Peace. Stir not.
Conrad, I say!
Here, man. I'm at thy elbow.
Mast and my elbow itched. I thought there would a scab follow.
I'll owe thee an answer for that. But now, forward with thy tale.
Stand thee close. Under this penthouse for drizzles rain. And I will, like a true drunkard, utter all to thee.
Some treason, masters, yet stand close.
Therefore, know I have learned of Don John 1,000 ducats.
Is it possible for any villainy to be so pure?
Thou should rather ask if for possible any villainy should be so rich. For when rich villains have need of poor ones may make what price they will.
Ah, I wonder at it.
That shows thou art unconfirmed. Thou knowest that a fashion of a doublet or a hat or a cloak is nothing to a man.
Yes, it is apparel.
I mean the fashion.
Yes, the fashion is the fashion.
Tush, may as well say the fool's the fool. But seest thou not what a deformed thief the fashion is? Didst thou not hear somebody?
No, 'twas the vein on the house.
Seest thou not, I say, what a deformed thief the fashion is? How giddily it turns about all the hot bloods between 14 and 5 and 30, sometimes like the Pharaoh soldiers in the Ricci painting, sometimes like the God-Bells priest in the old church window, sometimes like the shaven Hercules in the smirched worm-eating tapestry, where his codpiece seems as massy as his club.
All this I see, and I see that the fashion wears out more apparel than the man. But art not thou giddy with the fashion too? Hast thou shifted out of telling me thy tale into telling me one of the fashion?
Not so neither, but to know that I have tonight wooed Margaret, the lady hero's gentlewoman, by the name of Hero. She leans me out of her mistress's chamber window, bids me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale vilely. But first I shall tell thee how the Prince Claudio and my master, planted and placed and possessed by my master Don John, saw far from the orchard amiable this encounter.
And thought they, Margaret, was Hero?
2 of them did, the Prince and Claudio. But my master Don John knew she was Margaret. And partly by his oaths which first possessed them, partly by the night which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy which did confirm any slander Don John had made. Away went Claudio enraged. He swore he would meet her the next morning as he was appointed at the temple, and there, before the whole congregation, shame her with what he saw overnight, and send her home again without a husband.
We charge you in the prince's name! Stand!
Call up the right master constable. We have here recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery ever known in the Commonwealth.
And one deformed is one of them. I know him. Where's a lock?
Masters!
You'll be made bring deformed forth, I warrant you.
Master!
Never speak, we charge you. Let us obey you to go with us.
We are likely to be proven a good commodity being taken up with these men's bills.
A commodity in question. I warrant you. Come, we'll obey you.
Good Ursula, wake my cousin Beatrice and desire her to rise.
I will, lady.
And bid her come hither.
Well.
Troth, I think your other rabato were better.
No. Pray thee, good Meg, I'll wear this.
By my troth's not so good, and I warrant your cousin will say so.
My cousin's a fool, and thou art another. I'll wear none but this.
I like the new attire, with excellency. If the hair were a thought browner, and your gown's a most rare fashion, I faith. I saw the Duchess of Milan's gown that they praise so.
Oh, that exceeds, they say.
By my troth's but a nightgown in respect of yours, cloth so gold and cuts and laced with silver, set with pearls, down sleeves, side sleeves, and skirts, brown underborne with a bluish tinsel. But for a fine, quaint, graceful, and excellent fashion, yours is worth 10 on't.
God give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceeding heavy.
'Twill be heavier soon by the weight of a man.
Fie upon thee! Art thou not ashamed?
Of what, lady? Of speaking honorably? Is not marriage honorable in a beggar? Is not your lord honorable without marriage? I think you would have me say, saving your reverence, a husband. And bad thinking do not rest, true speaking offend nobody. Is there any harm in the heavy for a husband? None, I think, and it will be the right husband and the right wife. Otherwise 'tis light and not heavy. Ask my lady Beatrice else. Here she comes.
Good morrow, cousin.
Good morrow, sweet hero.
Why, how now? Do you speak in a sick tune?
I'm out of all other tune, methinks.
Oh, claps into light of love, that goes without a burden. Do, you sing it and I'll dance it.
You write a love with your heels. Well then, if your husband have stables enough, you will see that he shall lack no barns.
Oh, illegitimate construction. I scorn that with my heels.
'Tis almost 12 o'clock, cousin. 'Tis time you were ready. By my troth, I am exceedingly ill.
For a hawk, a horse, or a husband?
The letter that begins them all. H.
Well, and you be not turned, Turk. There's no more sailing by the star.
What means the fool, trow?
Nothing I but God send everyone their heart's desire.
These gloves the Count sent me, they're an excellent perfume.
I am stuffed, cousin. I cannot smell.
A maid and stuffed? There's goodly catching of cold.
Oh, God help me. God help me. How long have you professed apprehension?
Ever since you left it. Doth not my wit become me rarely?
It is not soon enough. You should wear it in your hat. By my troth, I'm sick.
Get you some of that distilled Cardus Benedictus and lay it to your heart. It's the only thing for a qualm.
There thou prickest her with a thistle.
Benedictus. Why, Benedictus, you have some moral in this Benedictus.
Moral? No, by my troth, I have no moral meaning. I meant plain holy thistle. You may think perchance that I think you are in love. Nay, byre lady, I am not such a fool to think what I list, nor I list not to think what I can, nor indeed I cannot think. If I would think my heart out of thinking that you are in love, or that you will be in love, or that you can be in love. Yet Benedict was such another, and now is become a man. He swore he would never marry, and yet now, in despite of his heart, he eats his meat without grudging. And how you may be converted, I know not, but methinks you look with your eyes as other women do.
What pace is this that thy tongue keeps?
Not a false gallop.
Madam, withdraw. The prince, the count, Signor Benedict, Don John, and all the gallants of the town are come to fetch you to church.
Help to trust me, good Cuz, good Meg, good Ursula.
What would you with me, honest neighbor?
Marry, sir, I would have some confidence with you. That discerns you nearly.
Brief, I pray you, for you see it is a busy time with me.
Marry, this it is, sir.
Yes, in truth it is, sir.
What is it, my good friend?
Goodman Verges, sir, speaks a little off the matter. An old man, sir, and his wits are not so blunt as God help. Truly I would desire they were, but in faith, honest as the skin between his brows.
Yes, I thank God I am as honest as any man living. That is an old man, and no honester than I.
Comparisons are odorous. Palabadas, neighbor Verges.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
It pleases your worship to say so, but we are the poor duke's officers. Truly for mine own part, if I were as tedious as a king, I could find it in my heart to bestow it all upon your worship.
All thy tediousness on me,
Yea, and 'twere 1,000 pounds more than 'tis, for I hear as good exclamation on your worship as that of any man in the city. And though I be but a poor man, I am glad to hear it.
And so am I.
I would fain know what you have to say.
Mary, sir, our watch tonight, accepting your worship's presence, had ta'en a couple of as errant knaves as any in Messina.
Goodman Virgin, a good old man, sir. He will be talking, as they say when the age is in, the wit is out. God help us, it is a world to see. Well said, faith neighbor Virgis. Well, God's a good man, and 2 men ride of a horse, one must ride behind. Well, an honest soul, faith, sir. By my troth he is as ever broke bread. But God must be worshipped. All men are not alike. Alas, good neighbor.
Indeed, neighbor, he comes too short of you.
Gifts that God gives.
I must leave you.
One word, sir. Our watch, sir, have indeed comprehended 2 auspicious persons, and would have them this morning examined before your worship.
Take their examination yourself and bring it to me. I am now in great haste, as it may appear unto you.
It shall be suffigance.
Drink some wine ere you go. Fare you well.
My lord, they stay for you to give your daughter to her husband.
I will wait upon them. I am ready.
Go, good partner. Get you to Francis C. Colin. Bid him bring his pen and inkhorn to the jail. We are to examination these men.
And we must do it wisely.
We shall spare for no wit, I warrant you. Here's that shall drive some of them to a non-come. Only bid the learned writer to set our excommunication, and meet me at the jail.
Come, Friar Francis, be brief, only to the plain form of marriage, and you shall recount their particular duties afterwards.
You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady?
No.
To be married to her, Friar. You come to marry her.
Lady, you come hither to be married to this count?
I do.
If either of you know of any inward impediment on why you should not be wed, I charge on your souls to utter it.
Know you any, hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any, count?
I dare make his answer. None.
Oh, what men dare do, what men may do, what men daily do not knowing what they do.
How now, interjections? Why then some be of laughing as
Stand thee by, friar. Father, by your leave, will you with free and unconstrained soul give me this maid, your daughter?
As freely, son, as God did give her me.
And what have I to give you back, whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing, unless you render her again.
Sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. There, Leonato, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She's but the sign and semblance of her honor. Behold, how like a maid she blushes here. Oh, what authority and show of truth can cunning sin cover itself withal? Comes not that blood as modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you not swear, all you that see her, that she were a maid, by these exterior shows? But she is none. She knows the heat of a luxurious bed. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to be married, my lord, not to knit my soul to an approved wanton.
Dear my lord, if you in your own proof have vanquished the resistance of her youth and made defeat of her virginity...
I know what you would say. If I had known her, you would say she did embrace me as a husband, and so extenuate the forehand sin. No, Leonato. I never tempted her with word too large. But as a brother to his sister showed bashful sincerity and comely love.
And seemed I ever otherwise to you?
Out on thee seeming, you seem to me as Dian in her orb, as chaste as in the bud ere it be blown. But you are more intemperate in your blood than Venus, or those pampered animals that engage in savage sensuality.
'Tis my lord well that he doth speak so wide.
Sweet prince, why speak not you?
What should I speak? I stand dishonored that have gone about to link my dear friend to a common stale.
Are these things spoken, or do I but dream?
Sir, they are spoken, and these things are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
True? Oh God!
Leonato, stand I here? Is this the prince? Is this the prince's brother? Is this face? Heroes, are our eyes our own?
All this is so, but what of this, my lord?
I wish to move one question to your daughter, and by that fatherly and kindly power you have in her, I pray you, bid her answer truly.
I charge thee do so, as thou art my child.
Oh God, defend me how I am beset! What kind of catechizing call you this?
To answer truly to your name.
Is it not, hero? Who can blot that name with any just reproach?
Marry this then, hero. Hero itself can blot out hero's virtue. What man was he talked with you yesternight? Out on your window betwixt 12 and 1. Now if you are a maid, answer to this.
I talked with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why then you are no maiden. Leonato, I am sorry you must hear, but upon mine honor, myself, my brother, and this grieved count did see her, hear her at that chamber window last night, talk with a ruffian, who hath indeed, most like a liberal villain, confessed to the vile encounters they have had 1,000 times in secret.
Fie! They're not to be named, my lord, not to be spoke of. There is not chastity enough in language without offense to utter them. Thus, pretty lady, I am sorry for thy much misgovernment.
O hero! What a hero hadst thou been if half thy graces had been placed about thy thoughts and counsels of thy heart. But fare thee well, most foul, most fair. Farewell, thou pure impiety and impious purity, for thee I'll lock up all the gates of love, and on my eyelids shall conjecture hang, to turn all thoughts of beauty into harm, and never shall it more be gracious.
Hath no man's dagger here a point for me?
Why, how now, cousin? By force sink you down! Come, let us go. These things come thus to light. Smother her spirits up.
How doth the lady?
Dead, I think. Help, uncle! Hero! Why, hero! Uncle! Signor Benedict! Friar!
O fate, take not away thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest cover for her shame that may be wished for.
How now, cousin hero?
Have comfort, lady.
Dost thou look up?
Yea, and wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why, doth not every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Could she here deny the story that is printed in her blood? Do not live, hero. Do not open thine eyes. Grieved I had but one? Chide I for that at frugal nature's frame? Oh, one too much by thee! Why ever had I one? Why ever wast thou lovely in my eyes? But mine, and mine I loved, and mine I praised, and mine that I was proud on, mine so much that I myself was to myself not mine, valuing of her. Why she, oh, she is fallen into a pit of ink that the wide sea hath drops too few to wash her clean again, and salt too little which may season give to her foul tainted flesh.
Sir, be patient. For my part, I am so attired in wonder I know not what to say.
Oh, on my soul, my cousin is belied.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No, truly not. Although until last night I have this 12-month been her bedfellow.
Confirmed. Confirmed! Oh, that is stronger maid which was before barred up with ribs of iron. Would the two princes lie, and Claudio lie who loved her so, that speaking of her foulness washed it with tears? Hence from her, let her die!
Hear me a little. For I have only been silent for so long, given unto way of this course of fortune by noting the lady. I have marked 1,000 blushing apparitions to start in her face, 1,000 innocent shames and angel whiteness to beat away those blushes, and in her eye there hath appeared a fire to burn the errors that these princes hold against her maiden truth. Call me a fool. Trust not my marking nor my observations, with which experimental seal doth warrant the tenor of my book. Trust not my age, my calling, reverence, nor divinity, if the sweet lady lie not guiltless here under some biting error.
Friar, it cannot be. Thou seest with all the grace that she hath left is that she will not add to her damnation a sin of perjury. She not denies it. Why seekest thou then to cover with excuse that which appears in proper nakedness?
Lady, what man is this that you are accused of?
They know that do accuse me. I know none. If I know more of any man alive than that which maiden modesty doth warrant, let all my sins lack mercy. O my father, prove you that any man with me conversed at hours unmeet, or that I yesternight maintained the change of words with any creature, refuse me, hate me, torture me to death.
There is a strange misprison in the princes.
2 of them have the very bent of honor, and if their wisdoms be misled in this, the practice of it lives in John the Bastard, whose spirits toil in frame of villainies.
I know not. If they speak but truth of her, these hands shall tear her. If they wrong her honor, the proudest of them shall well hear of it. Time hath not yet so dried this blood of mine, nor age so eat up my invention, nor fortune made such havoc of my means, nor my bad life reft me so much of friends, but they shall find a weight in such a kind. Both strength of limb and policy of mind, ability and means, and choice of friends to quit me of them throughly.
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here the prince is left for dead. Let her a while be secretly kept in, and publish it that she is dead indeed. Maintain a mourning ostentation, and on your family's old monument hang mournful epitaphs, and do all the rites that appertain unto a burial.
But, Friar, what shall become of this? What will this do?
This, well carried, shall on her behalf change slander to remorse, that is some good. She dying, as it must be so maintained, upon the instant that she was accused, shall be lamented, pitied, and excused of every hearer. For it so falls out, what we have we prize, not to the worth whiles we enjoy it, but by being lacked and lost. Then we rack the value. Then we find the virtue the possession would not show us whiles it was ours. So it will fare with Claudio. And when he shall hear she died upon his words, the idea of her life shall sweetly creep into his study of imagination, and every lovely organ of her life shall come a paralleled and precious habit, more moving, delicate, and full of life, in the eye and prospect of his soul than when she lived indeed. Then shall he mourn. And if love ever have interest in his liver, and he wished he had not so accused her, no, though he thought his accusation true. Doubt not but the success will fashion the event in better shape than I can lay it down in likelihood. And if all aim be levelled false, the supposition of the lady's death will quench the wonder of her infamy. And if it sort not well, you may conceal her, as it best befits her wounded reputation, in some reclusive and religious life, out of all eyes, tongues, minds, and injuries.
Signor Leonato, let the friar advise you. And though you know my inwardness in love is very much unto the prince and Claudio, I will deal in this.
Being that I flow in grief, the smallest twine may lead me.
'Tis well consented. Presently away, for the strange sores strangely they strain the cure. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day perhaps is but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason. I do it freely.
Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
Oh, what might the man deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way to show such friendship?
A very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in this world so well as you. Is not that strange?
As strange as the thing I know not. It were as possible for me to say I love nothing so well as you. But believe me not, and yet I lie not. I confess nothing, nor I deny nothing. I am sorry for my cousin.
By my sword. Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says I love not you.
Will you not eat your word?
With no sauce that can be devised to it, I protest, I love thee.
Why then, God forgive me!
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
You've stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you. With so much of my heart, there is none left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Farewell.
Tarry, sweet Beatrice.
I am gone, though I am here. There is no love in you. Nay, I pray you, let me go.
Beatrice.
In faith, I will go.
We'll be friends first.
You dare. Easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy.
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is it not approved in the height a villain that hath slandered, scorned, dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, that I were a man. Might bear her in hand until they come to take hands, and then with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor. Oh God, that I were a man. I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Hear me, Beatrice.
Talk with a man out at a window? A proper saying.
Nay, but Beatrice.
Sweet hero. She is wronged. She is slandered. She is undone. Princes and counties. Surely a princely testimony, a goodly count. Oh, Count Comfort, a sweet gallant surely. Oh, that I were a man for his sake. Or that I had any friend would be a man for my sake. But manhood is melted into curtsies, and valor into compliment, and men are only turned into tongues, and trim ones too. He is as valiant as Hercules, that only tells a lie and swears it. I cannot be a man with wishing. Therefore I will die a woman with grieving.
Tarry, good Beatrice, by this hand I love thee.
Use it for my love some other way, and swearing by it.
Think you, in your soul, the Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Yea, as sure as I have a thought, or a soul.
Enough, I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand, and so I leave you. By this hand Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you hear of me, so think of me. Go, comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead. And so farewell.
Is our whole assembly appeared?
Oh, a stool and cushion for the sexton.
Which be the malefactors?
Marry, then am I, sir, and my partner.
Nay, that's certain. We have the exhibition to examine.
But which are the offenders that are to be examined? Let them come before, Master Constable.
Yea, marry, let them come before me. What is your name, friend?
Baraccio.
Pray write down Baraccio. And yours, sirrah?
I am a gentleman, sir, and my name is Conrad.
Write down Master Gentleman Conrad. Masters, do you serve God?
Yea, sir.
We hope.
Write down that they hope they serve God, and write God first, for God defend, but God should come before such villains. Masters, it is proved here already that you are little better than false knaves, and it will go near to be thought so shortly. How have you to answer for yourselves?
Marry, sir, we say we are none.
A marvelous witty fellow, I assure you. But come hither, sirrah. A word in your ear. I say it is thought you are false knaves.
Sir, I say to you, we are none.
Why then, stand aside, for God, they are both in a tale. Have you writ down that they are none?
Master Constable, you go not the way to examine. You must call forth the watch that are their accusers.
Yea, marry, that is the eftest way. Let the watch come forth. Masters, I charge you in the prince's name, accuse these men.
This man said, sir, that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
Write down Prince John a villain. Why, flat perjury to call a prince's brother villain.
Master Constable.
Pray thee, fellow, peace. I do not like thy look, I promise thee.
What heard you him say else?
Marry, that he had received 1,000 ducats of Don John for accusing the lady hero wrongfully.
Flat burglary as ever was committed.
Yea, by mass that it is.
What else, fellow?
And that Count Claudio did mean, upon his words, to disgrace Hero before the whole assembly and not marry her.
Oh, villain, thou wilt be condemned unto everlasting redemption for this.
What else?
This is all.
And this is more, masters, than you can deny. Prince John is this morning secretly stolen away. Hero was in this manner accused, in this very manner refused, and, upon the grief of this, suddenly died. Master Constable, let these men be bound and brought to Leonato's. I will go before and show him their examination.
Come, let them be opinioned.
Let them be in the hands.
Off, coxcomb!
God's my life, where's the sexton? Write down the prince's officer coxcomb. Come, bind them, thou naughty varlet.
Hey, sir, you are an ass. You are an ass!
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, that he were here to write me down an ass. But masters, remember that I am an ass. Though it be not written down, yet forget not that I am an ass. I am a wise fellow, and what is more, an officer, and what is more, a householder, and what is more, as pretty a piece of flesh as any in Messina, and one that knows the law. Bring him away, oh, that I had been writ down an ass!
If you go on thus, you will kill yourself, and 'tis not wisdom thus to second grief against yourself.
I pray thee cease thy counsel, which falls into mine ears as profitless as water in a sieve. Give not me counsel, nor let no comforter delight mine ear, but such a one whose wrongs do suit with mine. Bring me a father that so loved his child, whose joy of her is overwhelmed like mine, and bid him speak of patience. No, 'tis all men's office to speak patience to those that wring under the load of sorrow. But no man's virtue nor sufficiency to be so moral when he shall endure the like himself. Therefore, give me no counsel. My griefs cry louder than advertisement.
Yet bend not all the harm upon yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
There, thou speakest reason. Nay, I will do so. My soul doth tell me Hero is belied, and that shall Claudio know, so shall the prince, and all of them that thus dishonor her.
Here comes the prince and Claudio hastily.
Good e'en, good e'en.
Good day to both of you.
Hear you, my lords?
We have some haste, Leonardo.
Some haste, my lords. Well, fare you well, my lords. Are you so hasty now? Well, all is one.
Nay, do not quarrel with us, good old man.
If he could right himself with quarreling, some of us would lie low.
Who wrongs him?
Marry, thou dost wrong me, thou dissembler, thou! Nay, never lay thy hand upon thy sword, I fear thee not.
Mary, be sure my hand, if it should give your age such cause of fear. In faith, my hand meant nothing to my sword.
Tush, tush, man, never fleer and jest at me. I speak not like a dotard nor a fool. Thou hast wronged mine innocent child and me, that I am forced to lay my reverence by, and with grey hairs and bruise of many days, do challenge thee to trial of a man. Thou hast belied mine innocent child, thy slander hath gone through and through her heart, and so she lies buried with her ancestors, oh, in a tomb where never scandal slept, save this of hers framed by thy villainy.
My villainy?
Thine, Claudio, thine, I say.
You say not right, old man.
My lord, I'll prove it on his body if he dare.
Away! I will not have to do with you.
Canst thou so doff me? Thou hast killed my child. If thou killest me, boy, thou shalt kill a man.
He shall kill two of us, and men indeed, but that's no matter. Let him kill one first. Win me and wear me. Let him answer me. Come, follow me, boy. Come, sir boy. Come, follow me, sir boy. I will whip you from your foining fence. Nay, as I am a gentleman, I will.
Brother.
Content yourself. God knows I loved my niece, and she is dead. Slandered to death by villains that dare as well answer a man indeed as I dare take a serpent by thy tongue. Boys, apes, braggarts, jacks, milksops.
Brother Anthony.
Hold you content. What man? I know them, yea, and what they weigh even to the utmost scruple. Scrambling, outfacing, fashion-monging boys that lie and cog and flout, deprave and slander, how they might hurt their enemies if they durst. And this is all.
But Brother Anthony.
Come, 'tis no matter. Do not you meddle, let me deal in this.
Gentlemen, we will not wake your patience. My heart is sorry for your daughter's death, but on my honor, she was charged with nothing but what was true and very full of proof.
My lord, my lord!
I will not hear you.
No? Come away, brother, I will be heard.
He shall, or some of us will smart for it.
See, here comes the man we went to seek.
Now, senor, what news?
Good day, my lord.
Welcome, senor. You've almost come to part almost a fray.
We'd like to have had our own two noses snapped off with two old men without teeth.
Leonato and his brother, what thinkest thou? Had we fought, I doubt we should have been too young for them.
In a false quarrel there is no true valor. I've come to seek you both.
We've been up and down to seek thee, for we are high-proof melancholy, and would fain have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
It is in my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
Dost thou wear thy wit by thy side?
Never any did so, though very many have been beside their wit. I will bid thee, draw as we do the minstrels. Draw to pleasure us.
As I am an honest man, he looks pale. Art thou sick or angry? By this light he changes more and more. I think he be angry indeed.
If he be, he knows how to turn his girdle.
Shall I speak a word in your ear?
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain. I jest not. I will make it good how you dare, with what you dare, and when you dare. Do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. You've killed a sweet lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you.
Well, I will meet you, so I may have a good cheer.
What, a feast? A feast?
Faith, I thank you. He hath put me to a calf's head and a capon, the which if I do not carve most curiously, say my knife's not. Shall I not find a woodcock too?
Sir, your wit ambles well, it goes easily.
I'll tell thee how Beatrice praised thy wit the other day. I said thou hadst a fine wit. True, said she, a fine little one. Nay, said I, a great wit. Yea, said she, a great gross one. No, said I, a good wit. Just, said she, it hurts nobody. Nay, said I, the gentleman is wise. True, she said, a wise gentleman. Nay, said I, he hath the tongues. Now that I believe, said she, for he swore a thing to me on Monday night, which he forswore on Tuesday morning. That's 2 tongues, that's a double tongue. Thus in an hour did she transshape thy particular virtues. But in conclusion, with a sigh, she said thou wast the properest man in Italy.
For the which she wept heartily and said she cared not.
And yet if she did not hate him deadly, she would love him dearly.
Fare you well. Boy, you know my mind. I will leave you now to your gossip-like humor. You break jests as braggarts do their blades, which God be thanked heard not. My lord, for your many courtesies I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother, the bastard, is fled from Messina. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent lady. For my lord Lackbeard there, he and I shall meet, and till then, peace be with him.
He is in earnest.
In most profound earnest, and I'll warrant you for the love of Beatrice.
And hath challenged thee?
Most sincerely.
But soft you, let me be. Pluck up my heart and be sad. Did he not say my brother was fled?
Come, you sirs, if justice cannot tame you, she shall ne'er weigh the more reason in her balance. Nay, and if you be a cursing hypocrite once, you must be looked to.
How now? 2 of my brother's men bound, Borachio 1.
Hearken after their offence, my lord.
Good officers, what offence have these men done?
Marry, sir, they have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruths. Secondarily, they are slanders. 6th, and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And to conclude, they are lying knaves.
First, I ask thee what they have done. Thirdly, what is their offence? 6th and lastly, why they are committed. And to conclude, what lay you to their charge?
Rightly reasoned and in his own division, and by my troth, there's one meaning well suited.
Who have you offended, masters, that you are thus bound to your answer? This learned constable is too cunning to be understood. What's your offence?
Sweet prince, let me go no farther to mine answer. Do you hear me? And let this count kill me. I have deceived even your very own eyes. What your wisdoms could not encounter, these
shallow fools
have brought to light, who in the night overheard me confessing to this man how Don John, your brother, had incensed me to slander the lady hero, how you saw me court Margaret with the hero's garments, how you disgraced her when you should have married her. My villainy which they have upon record, which I'd rather seal with my death than repeat over to my shame. The lady is dead upon mine and my master's false accusation, and briefly, I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
Runs not this speech like iron through your blood?
I have drunk poison whilst he uttered it.
But did my brother set thee on this?
Yea, and he paid me richly for the practice of it.
He is composed and framed of treachery, and fled he is upon this villainy.
Sweet hero.
Come, bring away the plaintiffs. By this time, our sexton hath reformed Signor Leonato of the matter. And masters, do not forget to specify, when time and place shall serve, that I am an ass.
Here comes Master Signor Leonato and the sexton, too.
Which is this the villain? Let me see his eyes, that when I note another man like him, I may avoid him. Which of these is he?
If you would know your wronger, look on me.
Art thou the slave that with thy breath hast killed mine innocent child?
Yea, even I alone.
No, not so, villain, thou beliest thyself. Here stand a pair of honorable men. A third is fled that had a hand in it. I thank you, princes, for my daughter's death. Record it with your high and worthy deeds. 'Twas bravely done, if you bethink you of it.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself. Impose me to what penance your invention can lay upon my sin. Yet sinned I not, but in mistaking.
By my soul nor I. And yet to satisfy this good old man, I would enjoin myself to any weight he would put upon me.
I cannot bid you bid my daughter live. That were impossible. But I pray you both, possess the people in Messina here how innocent she died. And if your love can labor aught in sad invention, hang her an epitaph upon her tomb, and sing it to her bones. Sing it tonight. Tomorrow morning come you to my house, and since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My brother hath a daughter, almost of a copy of my child that's dead, and she alone is heir to both of us. Give her the right you should have given her cousin, and so dies my revenge.
O noble sir, your overkindness doth bring tears from me. I do embrace your offer, and dispose of henceforth of poor Claudio.
Tomorrow morning, then, I will expect your coming. Tonight, I take my leave. This naughty man shall face to face be brought to Margaret, who I believe was packed in all this wrong. Hired to it by your brother.
No, by my soul she was not, nor did she know what she did when she spoke to me. But she has always been just and virtuous in anything that I do know by her.
Moreover, sir, which indeed is not under white and black, this plaintiff here, this offender, did call me ass. I beseech you, let it be remembered in his punishment.
I thank thee for thy care and honest pains.
Your worship speaks like a most thankful and reverent youth, and I praise God for you.
There's for thy pains.
God save the foundation!
Go, I discharge thee of thy prisoner, and I thank thee.
I leave an errant knave with your worship, for which I beseech your worship to correct yourself, for the example of others. God keep your worship! I wish your worship well. God restore you to health. I humbly give you leave to depart, and if a merry meeting should be wished, God prohibit it. Come, neighbor.
Until tomorrow morning, lords. Farewell.
Farewell, my lords. We look for you tomorrow.
We will not fail you.
Tonight, I'll mourn with Hero.
Bring you these fellows on.
Pray thee, sweet Mistress Margaret, deserve well at my hands by helping me to the speech of Beatrice.
Will you then write me a sonnet in praise of my beauty?
In so high a style, Margaret, that no man living shall come over it, for in most comely truth thou deservest it.
To have no man come over me? Why, shall I so always keep below the stairs?
Thy wit is as quick as the greyhound's mouth it catches.
And yours as blunt as the fencer's foil, which hit, but hurt not.
It is a most manly wit, Margaret. It will not hurt a woman. And so I pray thee, call Beatrice. I give thee the bucklers.
Give us the swords. We have bucklers of our own.
If you use them, Margaret, you must put in the pikes with a vice, and they are dangerous weapons for maids.
Well, I will call Beatrice to you, who I think hath legs.
And therefore will come. The god of love, love that sits above and knows me and knows me. How pitiful I deserve. I mean in singing, but in loving. Leander, the good swimmer, Troilus, the first employer of panders, and a whole book full of these quondam carpetmongers whose names yet run smoothly in the even road of a blank verse. Why, they were never so truly turned over and over as my poor self in love. Mary, I cannot show it in rhyme. I have tried. I can find no rhyme for lady, but baby, an innocent rhyme. For scorn, horn, a hard rhyme. For school, fool, a babbling rhyme. Very ominous endings. No, I was not born under a rhyming planet, nor I cannot woo in festival terms. Sweet Beatrice, wouldst thou come when I called thee?
Yea, signor, and depart when you bid me.
Oh, stay but till then.
Then is spoken. Fare you well. And ere I go, let me go with that which I came for, which is knowing what hath passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words, and thereupon I will kiss thee.
Foul words is but foul wind, and foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome. Therefore I will depart unkissed.
Thou hast frighted the word out of his right sense, so forcible is thy wit. And now I will tell thee plainly. Claudio undergoes my challenge, and either I will shortly hear from him, or I will subscribe him a coward. And I pray thee now tell me, for which of my bad parts didst thou first fall in love with me?
For them all together, which maintain so politic a state of evil, that they will not admit any good part to intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love? A good epithet. I do indeed love you against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think. Alas, poor heart! If you spite it for my sake, I'll spite it for yours, for I will never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably.
It appears not in his confession.
And I pray thee now, tell me, how doth your cousin?
Very ill.
And how do you?
Very ill, too.
Serve God, love me, and mend. There will I leave you two, for here comes one in haste.
Madam, you must come to your uncle. Yonder's old coil at home. It is proved, my lady. Hero hath been falsely accused, and the prince and Claudio mightily abused. And Don John is the author of all, who is fled and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you go hear this news, signor?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, be buried in thy eyes, and moreover I will go with thee to thy uncle's.
Is this the monument of Leonato?
It is, my lord.
Done to death?
By slanderous tongues was the hero that here lies. Death in guerdon of her wrongs gives her fame which never dies. So the life that died with shame lives in death with glorious fame. Hang thou there upon the tomb, praising her when I am dumb.
Now music sound, and sing your solemn hymn.
Of the night.
your death, till death be uttered, heavenly, heavenly, until death be uttered, heavenly.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
So are the prince and Claudio who accused her, upon the error that you heard debated. But Margaret wasn't some fault for this, although against her will, as it appears in the true course of all the question.
Well, I'm glad all things sort so well.
As am I, being else by faith and forced to call young Claudio to a reckoning for it.
Well, daughter, and you gentlewomen all, withdraw into a chamber by yourselves. And when I send for you, come hither masked. The prince and Claudio promised by this hour to visit me. You know your office, brother. You must be father to your brother's daughter, and give her to young Claudio.
Which I will do with confirmed countenance.
Friar, I must entreat your pains, I think.
To do what, Signor?
To bind me or undo me, one of them. Signor Leonato, the truth of it is, good Signor, your niece regards me with an eye of favor.
That I my daughter lent her, 'tis most true.
And I do with an eye of love requite her.
The sight whereof I think you had from me, from Claudio and the prince. But what's your will?
Your answer, sir, is enigmatical. But for my will is that your goodwill may stand with ours this day to be conjoined in the estate of honorable marriage, which, good friar, I shall desire your help for.
My heart is with your liking.
And my help. Here comes the prince and Claudio.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet determined today to marry with my brother's daughter? Call her forth, brother. Here's the friar ready.
Which is the lady I must seize upon?
The same she is, and I do give you her.
Why then, she is mine. Sweet, let me see your face.
No, that you shall not till you take her hand before this friar and swear to marry her.
Give me your hand before this holy friar. I am your husband if you likest me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero!
Nothing certainer. One hero died defiled, but I do live. And surely as I live, I am a maid.
The former hero that is dead.
She died, my lord, but whiles her slander lived.
All this amazement I can qualify, and once the holy rites are ended, I will tell you largely of fair hero's death.
Soft and fair, friar. Which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do you not love me?
No, no more than reason.
Why then, your uncle and the prince and Claudio have been deceived. They swore you did.
Do you not love me?
Troth, no. No more than reason.
Why then, my cousin, Margaret and Ursula are much deceived, for they did swear you did.
They swore you were almost sick for me.
They swore you were well nigh dead for me.
'Tis no such matter. Then you do not love me.
No, but in friendly recompense.
Come, niece, I am sure you love the gentleman.
And I sworn he loves her. For here's a paper written in his hand. A halting sonnet in his own pure brain, fashioned to Beatrice.
And here's another, written my cousin's hand, stolen from her pocket, containing her affection unto Benedick.
A miracle. Here's our own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee, but by this light I take thee for pity.
I would not deny you. But by this great day, I yield upon great persuasion, and partly to save your life, for I was told you were in a consumption.
Peace, I will stop your mouth.
How dost thou, Benedict, the married man?
I'll tell thee what, Prince. A college of wit-crackers could not flout me out of my humor. In brief, since I do purpose to marry, I will think nothing to any purpose that the world can say against it, and therefore do not flout at me for all I have said against it. For man is a giddy thing, and this is my conclusion. For thy part, Claudio, I did think to have beaten thee, but in that thou art like to be my kinsman, live unbruised, and love my cousin. Come, come, we are friends, let us have a dance ere we are married, that we may lighten our own hearts and our wives' heels.
We'll have dancing afterward.
First of my word, therefore play music. Prince, thou art sad. Get thee a wife, get thee a wife!
My lord, your brother John is ta'en in flight, and brought with armed men back to Messina.
Think not on him till tomorrow. I'll devise thee brave punishments for thee. Strike up, pipers!
No one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you broke, your love life's the away. It's like you're always stuck in second gear, when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. But I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause you're there for me too. You're still in bed at 10 and work again at 8. You burned your breakfast so far, things are going great. Your mother warned you there'd be days like these, but she didn't tell you